What a coastline! I'm more interested in the back alleys. $3 for a tiny can. This seems to be based on tetrapods. It's like a dream out here. Okay, here's the map, all laid out. This room has enough room to lay out your northern Scandinavia map. So we are in the town of Austertana, which is not on this map because it's too small. And there's a road that goes up here to this town, and there's a road that goes over here to this town. So we're gonna do one or both of these today. Just a little day trip. I don't know what's there because we don't have Wi-Fi to research them. So just gonna go out and see what these fishing villages are like, or whatever they are, on the coast of the Barents Sea on this weird peninsula. The other thing about this morning, as we're on our way to the first of the killer bees, Båtsfjord, is that if I seem a little sleepier than normal, it's because I didn't have coffee this morning. We didn't have coffee. The only way we could have had coffee was to buy instant coffee last night, but it only comes in like a gigantic jar, which we don't need. I had a good breakfast of cinnamon roll and yogurt and some little pink tea with no caffeine. So one thing we're doing also today is, in addition to looking at all of this foggy, rocky wondrousness, is find a place that will sell us coffee. Or maybe the scenery will wake me up. Okay, just coming into the town of Båtsfjord on the fjord called Båtsfjord. And in addition to some wind turbines up on the hill, my beloved wind turbines, there's an information sign that says welcome to Båtsfjord and a little map of the town. It's a nice map. Like this part of the map over here, the bottom of the map is the polar circle, that Arctic circle. Just to show you how far north we are. So far north that this part of Norway is worn away. Still like to get some coffee, although the cold and the landscape is waking me up a little bit. Well, here in Båtsfjord, we're still looking for coffee. There's an extra supermarket, which is not open right now at 11 a.m. on a Sunday. There's a Narvesen convenience store, which opens Sunday at noon, which is an hour from now. But a guy just came out and said, no, it's actually opening at 11 today. So we're waiting around the parking lot for 3 minutes for the Narvesen to open to buy coffee and maybe buy lunch. Anyway, the first of the killer bees, Båtsfjord. All right, we got our coffee. Narvesen has even seen fit to give us wooden benches right next to the quay here. We got these big boats. We got seagulls going. I've been in northern Norway long enough to be able to understand the call of the seagulls. And what they're saying is, how can Narvesen charge $3 for a tiny can of Coca-Cola? I know, I wondered the same thing, guys. They're coming over here to commiserate about it. All right, here on the gritty, mean streets of Båtsfjord, everything seems closed, so I'm kind of emboldened to just go peek in people's windows. Well, reindeer figurines. If you own a house or any kind of thing at all here in this part of Norway, you need some kind of a reindeer accoutrement for your house. You need reindeer antlers on the wall. You need something like that. I'm more interested in the back alleys because that's where the interesting things happen. And when I say interesting, I mean a bunch of big rocks. I did see an interesting fishing monument or something down the street, so we'll see what that's about. It's chilly here. It's about 5 degrees Celsius, which is maybe 40 or 41 Fahrenheit, something like that. I probably should be wearing my hat, but I'm not. When Frank Sinatra buys oil, he buys it at Croon Oil. It's those witticisms you just can't get anywhere else. You have to come to T1D Wanderer to get them. And I have to go to Båtsfjord, Norway, to get inspired to say things like that. Well, that was a disaster of a sentence. Anyway, here is the monument. Am I supposed to walk there on this dirt? So we've got kids, it looks like. 4 kids in a rowboat on a very angry sea, and it says Hartveer. Okay, it's a guy and 3 kids, apparently. Wonder where they're going or what they're doing. Okay, this person is hanging up fish, and there's a lady watching him. I think they're on land, not on a boat. So they've been fishing and now they've caught all those fish. These people seem to be preparing the fish on a table. And you got kind of a more impressionistic piece here. There's a bunch of people dressed for the sea. There's a bunch of gears. There's I guess that's a globe maybe, or the ocean or something. There's a giant fish hovering in the sky. These 2 people are catatonic, so afraid of the flying fish. It's a really nice looking bakery here, but it appears also to not be open. Bakery and cafe. Not open on Sundays. Well. The top of the light poles here have fishing hooks. So I would call this definitely not a farming village. This is fishing, a fishing town, pure and simple. Sometimes in a town like this, there's not a whole lot going on town-wise. It's just the scenes. Everything is so like picturesque, and you don't quite know what everything is, but that's the vibe of the place. It's just picturesque, like this. Stacks and stacks of green fishing nets, I'll assume, because I don't know anything. Maybe. Ooh, different style there. The dark blue, we have both kinds. And as always, every building right by the the water is full of seagulls. Well, I'm kind of digging Båtsfjord's vibe. Look at this cool tree. There's an Arctic-looking tree. I hear these people, like some guys, like shouting at each other sometimes, like, ah, ah. And I realize it's seagulls doing these kind of unusual calls. Normally, seagulls, I always think, are these are more. Rah! The Artisan coffee's pretty good. It was about $2.30 for this cup, which is not crazily unreasonable. Here's this guy's wearing short sleeves. Tough people in this part of Norway. I'm walking around with my frozen hands, and he's like, why did I bring my coat today? It's hot out here. Well, I've enjoyed this little trip through Båtsfjord. I'm going to drive around a little bit more, and then we'll go to the second of the killer bees, the town of Berlevåg, up a different route up to the very top of this peninsula. Can't leave Båtsfjord without seeing the church, can we? Here is the church on a little hill, halfway up a hill, overlooking the town and the fjord in the red brick square brutalist style. See if we can find some information about this church. So it is Sunday, so what's happening? They're having an open church Monday through Friday, 8 to 3. Well, that doesn't help me. Oh, Sunday, 2nd of October, that's today. From 18 o'clock, it's a gudstjeneste, Båtsfjord Church. A priest, an organist, and a church thing. I don't know. Something's happening tonight at 6. I won't be here. So it's all red brick. It is obviously in the long church style. And the steeple, once again, seems to be sort of separate from the church. That's very interesting. I've never seen that before. I don't know if that's a regular thing in churches besides in Norway. It says in English, Jesus' Ascension. Oh, look, here we go. Facts about the church. So this church was built in 1971. It used to look like that. I don't know why they changed it. If you can read that, let me know what it says. It's actually a very lovely entrance here. This works. This whole thing, this with the red bricks and the turquoise tiling here. The red wooden door. That's very nice, very nice. Båtsfjord. And if the church service gets a little boring, maybe you can look out the windows here, look up the hill, and watch the turbines turning. Let's have us a cheeky peek into the window here until somebody comes to yell at me. Very nice, very great. Anyway, starting to rain on me. I'm in a cold drizzle here. Let's go down to the town of Berlevåg. One more thing before leaving Båtsfjord. There is a Båtsfjord airport, and we're going up this little road to the airport. I see the control tower. On the extremely off chance that a plane happens to be landing or taking off while we're there. I just want to get some footage of a plane landing or taking off up close. Way up here, north of everywhere. Is the airport open on a Sunday? Is Avinor flying flights in now? You won't know unless you try. This is a 1 in a million shot, but we'll see what happens. The drive up is nice anyway, even in the rain. I don't hear any airplanes. But look at this place. An airport made out of red wood. The Båtsfjord Lufthavn. So, hope springs eternal. Let's see if we can go in, maybe get some information. Departures and arrivals in the same place. Okay, Sunday's fly router. So there's 2 flights. They come in at 5:45, leaves at 6. Another one comes in at 10:45 in the night and leaves at 11. Okay, well, I would like to get footage of an airplane coming in, but I'm not going to wait around for 5 hours for it. But I think it was worth it anyway. Maybe we can get some footage of a seagull taking off or landing instead. Very beautiful airport though. Thanks Båtsfjord Lufthavn, it's been great. Looks like a great place to go hiking. There's a big wooden walkway that goes down here. I can only assume it's for the public. And who's gonna complain? Oh, it starts here because of the mud. Wow, man. Why is this here? And isn't it great that it is here? Everywhere you see these, I don't know, dirt mounds with little lichen or something on top of them. This walkway takes some concentrating on. There was a signboard at the start of this, but it didn't really explain any of this, not in English anyway. It was more about where you can't fish. The guy Elo at the Sami Run place we stayed at a couple days ago, he was saying that in most of the lakes around here, you can catch fish. So I guess fishing is pretty much ubiquitous in this area. Well, the walkway has run out. Walking on Arctic soggy ground now. I see some pretty white flowers or something. Let's go check those out. It's like cotton. Bunch of them here. Wow, what a place to be. What a place to go walking around. The air here is just so clean and crisp. Ah, very, very fresh air. Road about 10 or 20 kilometers outside of Berlevåg has gotten very, very rocky, and the rocks are very jagged, very angular, all kinds of crazy shapes. It is, I would say, about the highlight of the day so far. It's an unbelievable drive. In the land of unbelievable drives, this one stands out. Look at this. What a coastline! All right, well, this is Berlevåg. We've driven around Berlevåg a little bit. It seems like another kind of a fishing and boating type village, more boating than fishing, if that makes any sense. It also seems to be based on tetrapods. I don't know why, but these are placed around town, sort of as displays, sometimes painted. Pretty cool town, the second of the killer bees. Now, we have not eaten lunch yet. It's 2 p.m., so here we go, lunchtime. Driving along and found another lighthouse. This is Killiness Lighthouse or something. Kind of similar to the other one, although it's not as cold and windy here. Killiness Lighthouse. Killiness Fjord. A simple kind of lighthouse with a small kerosene lamp. In 1900 blah 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 blah. Alright, once again this one was destroyed by the Nazis, and this time completely destroyed in 1944 and completely rebuilt in a very modern style. Can't get too close because of construction and stuff, but anyway, here it is. So we bought this sandwich about 3 hours ago from Norwegians back in Båtsfjord. We had the guy heat it up, and I think it's gotten a little bit hard since then. I'm not even sure it's possible to eat it. Oh. It's about as hard as the jagged rocks around this part. Tastes all right though. Okay, the impossibly hard sandwich and the potato chips are finished. Lunch is over, and now the drive back to, where are we going? Austertana, where the room is. I hope the scenery is exquisite on the way back, and just to make sure it is, I'm going to do a little hopeful dance to the travel gods and a little dance for the dash cam. Well, say what you want, but the dance worked. The drive back kept offering more and more surprises to an already full day. I think I've found what may be the cutest building in all of Norway, and that is saying something. It's the Handel, which I think is like a shop, bakery, museum, and cafe. Of course, closed today, but check this out. a museum with some kind of old-timey antique gas pump with English on it. The sale, gallons. I've not thought of gallons since I've been here. Magnolia maximum mileage gasoline. In a way, too bad that it's a Sunday because I would definitely stop here and patronize this place. Give me everything you got. I want some cafe, I want some coffee, I want to see the museum. Give me some bread from the bakery. Play me some Handel music. Whatever you got. Okay, I've got some rocky green hills for you. I've got a beautiful winding road through the incredible wilderness of this part of northern Norway. I've got fog-shrouded mountains over there, a ridge with fog just dripping down onto the tops of it majestically. But I'm gonna give you a bonus feature. A bonus feature. Look at this. Look at this river. And another bonus feature, this guy holding a camera who wants to go down closer to the river and see it up close, if I can get down there somehow. Does one clamber over the rocks? What does one do? I'm going down here. Yo! Now that I've bounded down the hill, I see that a lot of weeds in the way. Maybe I can't get there. Well, I'm not crawling around in all of that because it's all wet. I don't know what this place is or if I'm supposed to be here. I keep saying that on this trip. That's a sign of a good trip. I don't think I'm supposed to be here. You never know if where you're walking is going to suddenly sink down 6 inches into the moist soil. Let's see. Okay, we'll go over here. We'll go over here. I think we're getting closer to the booyah, as they say. Oh, jeez. A little less Rambo with this stuff. Hold on a second. Let me be more careful. Oh, look. Here we go. Here we go. Whew. Yes, sirree. Perfect. I keep seeing this river driving today, or rivers like it. Finally, I've been able to pull over and see it up close. Up close. It's like a dream out here. And just a quick hike back to the car, unless I sink into bowels of Finnmark. I've never gone bouldering before, but good time as any to start. Okay. Those distant, misty, foggy mountains that we just saw earlier, we're now there, among them. And they're just unbelievable. The mountains have this kind of colors to the rock, like pink and gray and green, but you can't really see it because it's kind of washed out because of the weather, but you can still see them a little bit, and they're kind of pale, and then they just fade off into fog. Wow, what a road! Just saw a moose, the third moose of this trip. Just one moose standing by himself or herself right in the middle of the woods, kind of just loitering around, hanging around. And then he kind of slowly walked off. It was great. Just happened to notice him on the side of the road. He wasn't in the road, he's only on the side. Whew. Always exhilarating. I don't know why, it's just, wow. Today was going to be hard to beat. But back at the guest house, I did my research and found a road to explore tomorrow. A long road that leads to mainland Norway's only town with an Arctic climate, Vardø. See you then. Thanks for watching.